Hi guys, today we're going to talk about Lindsay Hunter's book, Eat Only When You're Hungry. So today I want to talk about Lindsay Hunter's book, Eat Only When You're Hungry. I went online and read some of the reviews that other people have said about this, just because I wanted to see what people were saying, and it looks like there was a little bit of criticism of this book. Just they're empty people, empty lives, just so much emptiness. And I just wanted to come on and explain why I loved it. Didn't necessarily love the empty people, but I loved the book. It was so beautiful and thought-provoking. So that's the purpose for my video today. I'm not going to try and change the minds of people who did not like the book, because I kind of like when people bring different opinions to the table. Makes for a much richer discourse, but I would like to throw my opinion out there as to why all the emptiness in these people is what makes the book so beautiful. So let me kind of rewind a little bit and give you a short synopsis of the book. Contrary to what the title sounds like, Eat Only When You're Hungry is not a book about dieting. We're not going to get 10 tips to be skinny by Tuesday. What it is instead is it's a fictional book written by Lindsay Hunter, in which a man in his late 50s, he's taken early retirement, he's in a long marriage with his wife, but it has grown very stale to the point that they're pretty much just two ships crossing in the night. And he has an adult son who through most of his late teenagerdom and adulthood has been severely addicted to drugs. So the son, GJ, Greg Jr., has come up missing, and so Greg must rent an RV and go out on an odyssey to find his son. Now I say odyssey, but really he doesn't have a lot of life-affirming adventures like you might expect from Odysseus, so I wouldn't say that that's really a great comparison there, but I will say that as Greg is driving on his journey to try and find GJ, his son, he flashes back to a lot of memories of raising GJ and the places he went wrong as a parent, the places he's gone wrong as a husband, and the places he's kind of failed himself. You know, he's overweight, he has a big gut, and that's where the Eat Only When You're Hungry comes into play, because his doctor has given him that advice many a time, but he just can't seem to follow it. So he goes on this journey in the RV, stuffing his face with fast food, stuffing his face with candy, soda, all sorts of vices, comfort food, cigarettes, and then we find out that he drinks a little too much. And by a little too much, I mean a lot too much. And so really, I think it's a book that's about excess. So Greg has this excess of things he's taking in, trying to fill this hole inside of himself that's never going to be filled. It's never going to be filled. So he takes in the love from the women in his life. He takes in all the whiskey he can get his hands on. He takes in food after food. He's never comforted. He's never sated. And so in his flashes back to raising GJ again, we kind of realize, no wonder this kid turned to drugs. Maybe father and son should go into rehab together. In one of the memories that Greg has in his flashbacks to GJ's upbringing, he remembers this conversation he had with a fellow parent. And I'm going to paraphrase this badly because I don't remember it exactly. But the parent says something like, "Oh, it's so hard to let go of these kids when they grow up. It's just so hard." And Greg thinks to himself, my problem isn't that I had a hard time letting go. My problem is that I never really held on in the first place. So in all these flashes to GJ's childhood, it's all about Greg just pushing him off. It's almost like that song, The Cat's in the Cradle. Big realization I just had. We need Cat Stevens to come out and serenade the entirety of this book, because really it's about the dad saying, not now, not now, kid, you're an inconvenience. And then the sins of the father are visited upon the kid when the kid grows up and follows those same patterns, same vices, same downfalls that the father is following. Okay, now I'm assuming At this point, if you're watching, that maybe you've read the book too and you have some opinions on it, because I'm about to get into some light spoilery plot points. I'm not going to give away key pieces of the book, although I would really like to talk about the very, very ending, because I think I know what happens and I want to make sure I'm not just making assumptions that aren't there. But let me talk about key plot points here. So, official warning, mild spoilers coming. It's almost like the book is a meditation on the messiness of adulthood. It's messy. I mean, okay, if any teenagers are watching this, yes, believe me, life does get better. It does get better. But anyone who's in the middle of adulthood knows that it's not without its complications. It doesn't suck. Although maybe for Greg in this novel it sucks. And so he kind of has he's mired in all the bad parts of adulthood. He's kind of crippled under just the weight of life. He retired early, but he still wastes most of his day just sitting around in his PJs watching TV. He has this wife who loves him and was supportive, but he pretty much squanders that love as well, to the point that they're pretty much strangers towards each other. He has all the medical advice, all the support at home he needs to become healthy, but he's just not really interested in that. He seems to have kind of checked out of everything in life and just can't be bothered. He just can't be bothered. And his approach to his son is almost the same way. So to me, it was incredibly devastating and dark. And yes, the people are so unlikable and unredeemable. And I think that's what made the story so beautiful and touching for me. I don't know if beautiful is the right word, but intensely touching. When I finished reading, I had to really take a beat and just kind of, wow. So that's why I think Eat Only When You're Hungry is kind of a revelation, a really intense, deep character study that's worth reading. 5 stars. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure and share your opinions too. Even if you disagree with me, I love seeing the disagreements just because I think it brings new perspectives to the book that I might not have seen otherwise. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.